Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, my favorite fruit is custard apple. And it is green outside, white and black inside. Grows in arid areas and is very simple. You can peel it and eat it immediately. It's not a complex fruit. You don't need water. You don't need a knife to cut it. Yes, so that is what defines me. I'm very happy to be here today to be able to share with you a bit of what I have learned. I love mentorship and I love business development services. Business development services are interventions, blended interventions that are normally geared towards business people because their needs are diverse. So I think we will go straight to the presentation. Yeah. You can see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So the topic is how mentoring works, life-changing journey. And mentoring is something that actually do change lives. And that is why there are some people who cannot live without having mentors. There are some people who do not really understand why somebody would need a mentor. And that is why we would like to just explain some of the benefits of mentorship. So our agenda for today is we want to know more about mentoring. Why do we need to mentor? Why do we need to be mentored? What are the benefits of being mentored or being a mentee and being a mentor? What are some of the attributes of an effective mentor and mentee? And what are the elements of successful mentoring? Yeah, so there's a poll that we'd like to see. We would like to see what your views are with regards to mentorship or mentoring. I'll be using the words interchangeably, mentoring, mentorship, but they mean more or less the same thing. Yes, it's already there. So please do answer. But we are still at 6 out of 31 who have voted. Yeah, just stop it. I think we'll just stop it at 24 out of 36. Yeah, so these are the results. 71% of you have been mentored before. 17 have never been mentored. There is a 13% that is not sure whether they have been mentored or not mentored. You have been a mentor to somebody. That is 71% of you. Yeah, so it's the same number. Yeah, and 17. Yeah, okay. I'm wondering how number 1 is just exactly the same as number 2. Yeah, and would you like to be mentored? So there are 96% of you are saying you'd like to be mentored. There's one who says no. I would really love to hear why somebody would not want to be mentored. It would be interesting to hear. Would you like to mentor? Yes, great. 100% of you would like to mentor. So I think maybe I can start by asking, what is mentoring or what is mentorship to you? You can chat, you can, yeah, I think chatting is the best. Just put a word there, or you can unmute yourself and speak. What is mentoring to you? Yeah, so Diambo is saying holding someone's hand. Anyone else? What is mentoring? Walking with, yeah. Uh, Dr. Eda is saying walking with someone, guiding, Josephine, guiding someone. Yeah.
I think
Something.
mentorship, yes, I think mentorship is an instance where we have a more experienced person in a certain field or something whereby they pick a lesser experienced person who maybe is passionate, and they show them the way, and along the way they can help them maneuver through the handles and help them succeed in that particular field.
Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, somebody who's gone ahead of you, who is more experienced, now holding your hand. UDA says getting guidance from people who have, they are coming at an alarming rate. I can't even keep up with the pace. Getting guidance from people who have gone before you and keeping accountability. Milka, it's helping individual to be his or her best version, journeying together and accompanying, that is Olive. Martha sharing acquired knowledge to shorten the learning curve of another person, a form of leadership, being a good example and inspiring the mentee to be the best version of themselves. That's Dr. Eda, and then Elizabeth, listening and guiding someone through a life aspect. I totally agree with you people, and that is what mentoring is. Being the one who is helping someone to be the best version of themselves, thereby helping them to achieve some goal they would like to achieve or a desired outcome. Yeah. And there's somebody who mentioned someone who has gone before you. And there are people who say this is somebody who should have already done what you'd like to do. And some people are also saying, no, it is not necessary. So yes, it is not necessary that the person has already has done exactly what you'd like to do, because it could be someone who has gone through a similar journey, but not necessarily a teacher like you. So I think we've done that. So this is my definition of mentoring: helping and supporting someone to take charge of his or her learning and growth in order to achieve a desired outcome. And from what you people have shared, you can already see a mentor is a person who is guiding, who is seen as the leader, the person who is guiding the program. But we are going to see this in another aspect, because when you are in a class, a teacher leads a class. When you are in a mentoring session, we are going to see who then leads. But there's somebody who has gone through that similar challenge, somebody who has a better experience, and providing you a space to reflect, set goals, and share experiences, their experiences or his or her experiences. It is a long-term kind of relationship. So it's not going to be a 1 week relationship or a 1 month relationship. Most of the times is longer. It can be 1 year. It can even be a lifetime. Yeah, it benefits both parties, and we are going to see how then does it benefit the mentor, because we've seen how it benefits the mentee largely. It's based on trust. Yeah, somebody coming to share with you wherever they are, their secrets, their goals. It means then you have to be confidential or trustworthy to be told all these things. It's largely free or voluntary. At times it is paid, but it's more of an appreciation, and it also depends on the context. So there is business mentorship, there is youth mentorship, there is a mentorship at the workplace. So you'll find maybe for business mentorship, it can be time bound and there could be some appreciation, but it is largely voluntary. Even after the 1 year or the 3 months, the relationship can progress, but on voluntary basis. It's holistic. It doesn't only look at your professional, but also the personal life. Yeah, I'd like us to look at this and also think about then what is not mentorship. Yeah, what is mentorship and what is not mentorship. So if you compare different interventions that we have out here, we have got training, coaching, consulting or advisory, we have counseling, we have mentoring. If you look at the differentiating aspects, then that is what I've tried to capture here. So the key value for training, you'll find that it is more geared towards knowledge and skills transfer, and it is curriculum oriented. Yeah. If you look at coaching, you are more of using questioning. And I'm not talking about coaching in athletics, for example, or in sports. The professional coaching where you have a challenge and you have a professional coach and you booked a session, you have paid for it, and you are going through that coaching session. Maybe it's a period of 2 months or 3 weeks. So there'll be structured questioning, there'll be accountability, but you'll find that the coach will not share with you much of his or her personal life. When you look at advisory or consulting, it is expertly provided. It's a solution from an expert. And counseling is history focused, like past. You want to.
Edna, we are losing you. I don't know whether it's from my side only.
Let me share my screen again. I hope you can see it.
Yeah, it's there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. So counseling, I mentioned it is history-based. You dig through your past to be able to get some insights and some solutions to your challenges. Then mentoring is more of inspiring, empowering, guiding, sharing experiences. If you look at the leader in all these different interventions, for training, the leader is the trainer. Coach, for the coaching. The advisor or consultant is the leader in consulting. And counseling, we have got the counselor. However, now for mentoring, is the other way around. It is the mentee who leads this. So for people who say they would like to be mentored, please take note of this. You need to lead the process through the guidance of the mentor. It's not the mentor who leads, it is you who leads. Duration normally is short term for training, coaching, and advisory. But when you come to counseling and mentoring, it can be medium or long term. Then the relationship is professional. So training, it is like vertical, from top to bottom. Yeah. And it is very professional. When you go to coaching, the same thing. Advisory, the same thing. But advisory doesn't have to be top to bottom. It doesn't have to be vertical. It can be horizontal. Counseling is also professional, but when you come to mentoring, it is an informal relationship. That is why you can be discussing about your business or your education, and you are also discussing about your marriage life with your mentor. The consideration, all of these are paid. However, even mentoring can be paid, but it is largely voluntary. There is no money because it is something you want to make somebody better than the way they are. So there's nothing they can actually pay you to be able to do that. Now, what is not mentoring? We have seen what mentoring is. Mentoring is not, you know, we have different contexts. Like, for example, in the employment industry, where maybe new managers or young managers are being mentored by more experienced managers, it is not performance management. You are not becoming a mentor of somebody so that when they have not met their targets, the HR or the boss can come to you and ask you, by the way, you've been mentoring this person, what is her problem or what is his problem? So it is not, you are not part of that at all. Yeah. You are not going to be policing somebody when you are a mentor. But a mentor can also incorporate some of the coaching behaviors, like the questioning. They do a lot of questioning. A mentor can open his or her network to the mentee, can introduce you to maybe some of the contacts so that you can take advantage of them or maybe do business with them. But it is not a must. A mentor can challenge you, can ask you, why not this? Why this and why not this? And you think about something differently. But a mentorship has to have a mentor who is like a sounding board. So mentoring, being a sounding board is part of mentorship. Being an accountability partner is part of mentorship. Yeah, I hope that makes it a little bit clear what is mentorship, what is not mentorship. Yeah, so attributes of a good mentor. Yeah, you have to be approachable and you have to be available if you are going to be a mentor. If you are not going to be available, then don't become a mentor of somebody. Yeah, you have to be very empathetic. Don't judge. Try to put yourself in the shoes of the mentee. Then you'll be able to provide solutions to them. You need to be a good listener. Remember, that is why you are sounding board. If you are not going to be listening, then you are not going to be challenging enough. You are not going to be able to challenge somebody without the listening skills. You have to provide feedback, because this is what makes the other person improve. You have to be patient. You have to be trustworthy. Yeah. And help the mentee to stay vulnerable. Some of the characteristics of a good mentee: clear goals and understanding. So you already understand what mentoring is and what it is not. You are not getting into this relationship and thinking, oh, I have a prefect, somebody who is going to be on my back. No, because if we agree, I'm your mentor, we agree you are supposed to do ABC, and you don't take initiative, then there's nothing much I can do. I can never be able to cane you. Yeah, so you must have clear goals. What is it that you'd like to achieve through this mentorship relationship? And do you actually understand the goals of the program, the goals of your mentor, your personal goals, the goals of the organization that is facilitating this? You have to be responsible enough to take ownership of everything. So you get into a session, a mentorship session with your mentor, you don't have a notebook and a pen, and you say, I'm going to do ABCD. You are probably a business person or employed somewhere. Most probably you are going to forget one or two things. So for you to be responsible enough, you note everything down and make sure that you provide timelines within which you are going to do whatever you agree with your mentor you are going to do. You are open to learning and unlearning, and you are open to feedback, because you are going to be given feedback as well. You are committed to the program. So if you have already been allocated a mentor, say you are in some organization, and then you are not able to make time, please do communicate that in good time so that you don't waste your mentor's time. You have to respect the organization, respect the mentor's time, because there's a lot of their wealth of knowledge. There's resources in terms of time. At times they use their resources to come and meet you. Maybe they are fuel. Yeah, maybe they are hosting you in their space. So respect that. Now, we have got different types of mentoring. We have one-on-one, where you have one mentor and one mentee. You can have one mentor and two mentees, or even one mentor, 4 mentees, one mentor, 20 mentees. And you can also have 2 mentees with one mentor, or 10 mentees with one mentor. You know, yeah. So what I mean is, the mentors can be many, or the mentees can be many. There's peer-to-peer mentoring. So you are both business people, you are mentoring each other. Maybe one person has a strength in something, maybe they have a strength in leadership, the other person has a strength in finance, so they can provide peer-to-peer mentorship. There's also group mentorship. This is a mentor mentoring a group of people. There's a mentoring where you have a senior person mentoring a junior person, and there's reverse mentoring. So reverse mentoring is where you have somebody who is younger in the field or experience mentoring somebody who is older. An example is today you can have maybe a 60-year-old being mentored by somebody who is 28 years on technology, how to take advantage of social media, how to be online. That is reverse mentoring. So what are the structures that we have in mentoring? There's cohort-based. I think most of you have seen this, where there's call for mentors to be onboarded to a particular program or mentees. It can also be rolling. Rolling means you can get in at any time. The cohort-based, you may find that it says from August to June next year, we are going to be running this program. So mentors enroll and mentees enroll. Rolling is whereby you have an organization that provides mentorship. So as long as we have a mentor coming in, a mentee can also be onboarded any time, and they just pick up that relationship. It can be platform-based. What I mean it is can be technologically enabled, so that you don't actually even relate with these people physically, but everything is online. It can be formal, it can be semi-formal, it can be informal. Formal means even the way you report is structured. The way you do the meetings, everything is structured. Semi-formal means there's some structure. Maybe there is a contract that is being signed. You have already been given guidelines. You can meet 4 times within this period of 1 year, but it is left for the mentor and mentee to decide, how are we meeting? When are we meeting? Does night work for us? So that is more of semi-formal. Then informal is where the mentee and mentor will decide how they want to run with the relationship. There is no reporting at all. So there's slight reporting for semi-formal, and there is intense reporting for formal, but for informal, there is no much reporting. Most people would prefer informal, but is not very good when it comes to results. There's one-off or recurring mentorship. So you can have just a program that will run for a year and that's it. Or it runs for a year, then after every 5 years, you have it again. Yeah. So how does the mentoring journey looks like? When you are onboarded in a program, particular program, mentorship, or you are being mentored, or you are providing mentorship, the first stage is building rapport. So you want to understand each other. What do you do? What are some of your, what do you like? Do you have a family? What time works for you for this relationship? You build rapport and set the stage for the mentoring journey to start. Then the second one is setting direction. So this is where you're coming up with goals. What does success look like for us? Advancing, now you have started the relationship, you are providing feedback, you are listening, you are challenging. Mid-journey is more or less now you are celebrating some of the results that you have already received. You have already given the outcome of the program so far. You are looking at what next. Can we now go to goal number 2? Then winding down is where you are headed towards closing the relationship or the end of the program, and you are preparing yourself. You are celebrating your wins, the things that you have learned, because there's a lot of learning even for the mentor that happens in a mentoring journey. And moving on is, it can be professional, it can be very informal, because now you decide, do we want to move on with this? The mentorship program has come to an end, the 1 year has come to an end, or 6 months. How do you want to move on? Do we want to stop the relationship, or will we continue meeting? And if we'll be interacting, what will guide our interaction going forward? Is it just when I call you, when I have an issue, I can always call you, you know? So that is moving on. Then some important facts that you need to consider. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are people who are saying, if I want to be successful as a business person in health or a doctor, then I need another doctor to mentor me. But does it really matter? So sector may be the same, it may be different. Your mentor can be a specialist, can be a generalist, can be a local person, can be international, can be internal if you are working within an organization, can be an external person. All this is possible for a mentor. What matters most is relatability. Has this person gone through a similar journey? Do you admire this person? Can you relate? That is what will be key. The other thing is the foundational attributes. Does the mentor have strong foundational attributes? Profile is one thing, whatever we, like what Olale was reading, that is just a profile. But there's more to that for you to be an effective mentor, or for you to get somebody who is going to help you get value out of the relationship. They need to be empathetic. They need to have a strong emotional intelligence. You know, they need to be people who have they are ready to share. So it is more of the things that we cannot even touch, we cannot even see. They are not on the paper, but they are more on the person. That is what will make a mentor a good mentor or effective mentor. Yeah, but not the paperwork. So that is why at times it is good to even do an interview to be able to see whether this mentor can align. You can get a very good manager with extensive years of experience, but that does not mean that the manager can be a good mentor. Yeah. Then mentorability of the mentee. So what is mentorability? The ability to be mentored is not only about the characteristics we've spoken about, but it's more of something higher than that. This mentee feels like there's some mindset of the mentee. They feel like change is necessary. They feel like change can happen. You know, in life, there are people who've already given up or settled for wherever they are. They feel like there's nothing much I can attain. But this person feels like there's room for change and it is possible. And even if it looks like it is not in the near future, I think it's something that I can do. And they take that personal responsibility to initiate that change and take responsibility for that journey towards the change. So if you get somebody who has that mentorability, other than being able to understand what mentorship is and having those characteristics, then you are sure you will have an effective or successful mentorship. For the mentee, it's also good to understand that we have always had this be, do, have. Yeah, be, do, have concept. So if I want to have, maybe I want to have a successful business, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do my financials very well. I'm supposed to take care of my financial planning, keep good records. And what am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be that disciplined person. Yeah. So there's a B, to be disciplined, so that I'm able to keep good books, so that I'm able to be successful or have profitability in my business. So the B, where you are talking about the leadership, you know, you are talking about the discipline. This is where the mentor comes in to help you. So those behavioral traits that you may be missing, the hard work you need to put, the good time management, this is where the mentor comes in to support you. So that is the end of the presentation. I'd like it to be short so that most of the time we dedicate to quick Q&A and sharing our experiences. So as we go into Q&A, I think what I'd like us to do is have somebody share with us, if you have been mentored, how was the experience? It doesn't have to be a pleasant experience, it can be otherwise, because that is why we are here today, to learn how you can not provide a good mentorship to somebody. Yeah. If you have been mentored, how was it for you? If you have mentored, how was it for you? And then we can open it up to questions.
I think I'll share about being mentored. I was this very shy, and when I say shy, I mean shy girl. until I went to Pearls and Treasures, and then I found the director Agneta Akech, and she is my mentor. She mentored me at that time, and right now it's like getting this young girl who only knows how to ride a bicycle, and now teaching them and mentoring them on how to reverse a 24-wheeler. And that is what she did to me. Like right now, I don't think there's any crowd that I cannot face, because she really worked with me. She really mentored. She did a great job.
Wow. Thank you, Noel. So confidence, Noel was able to get confidence out of that mentorship. Yeah. Thank you for that. So she's now confident. What she's become to be, now she's confident. Any other person would like to share?
Let me follow Noel, because I was shortly mentored by the same person. But this was a situation where she was walking me through a dark forest. And she's younger than me, and it was a reverse. She's half my age, but she had the power to still me and direct me towards where I need to go. There are times where the other mentees were also half my age, and I was wondering what I'm doing among these young people. And actually, I was forced into that mentorship. It was a conditional thing. And I remember sometimes when you're given goals or homework and what, sometimes I'll not do it, and then I'd come back. She asks me, have you done your homework? I say, no. She tells me, step out, to go and do it and come back. In front of children, with people you are children's age. I used to be so upset, do you know? By the time I finished, she was surprised that I finished the course. And it was an experience, actually. It made me much better. It got me out of hopelessness into hopefulness. And yeah, it's not an easy journey, actually, especially for the mentor. Mentees, we can be kichwa ngumu sometimes, but yeah, I'm a better person because of the relationship.
Thank you, Martha. So from hopelessness to hopefulness. And for Martha, it was reverse mentoring or reverse mentorship, a younger person mentoring her. And Odhiambo Olale also mentioned that the college professor mentored him, yeah, and helped him to finish his university or his course. Yeah, I was mentored by my university professor who held my hand and helped me be focused on my goals and objectives. Great. So I'd like us to share if you've had a bad experience or not a pleasant experience with your mentor or mentee. Anyone who's had that. We had over, was it 70%? I think it was 71% of us have mentored and have been mentored. We can't have all gone through very nice experiences. So maybe I can start with you, with myself. Now, I've mentored quite a number of people, and what I find from most of them is lack of the discipline. Yeah, there's lack of discipline. There's also lack of taking initiative for themselves. So there's this mentee I went to see. It was in a program, and the mentee looked like she's not interested at all. She would always give excuses. And for particular programs, they're normally short term. So this was a 3 months program. And we were supposed to meet, I think after every 2 weeks, we were supposed to have a session. And I was supposed to go to where the mentee is. She was running an agency. These people who do Safaricom, KCB, COP, M-Pesa, those agency and KPLC and stuff. She was doing very well from what she showed from the initial questions. When you are trying to build rapport, you are asking questions about the business, where the mentee is. She seemed like she was doing very well, but her attitude was not that good. because she was not open, and she always looked like she's very busy. And mentorship was something that was distracting her. Now, I only came to realize when we were doing our second last session that she was in so much debt, Shylock debt. That was killing her. But we had wasted a whole 2 months, over 2 months, doing nothing much, whereas we would have taken advantage of that time and shared how she could get out of debt. So when she realized, now she wanted me to be more, she wanted to be serious, and she was like, oh, sorry, you know, it's my challenges that have been making me behave the way I've been behaving. But now that you are saying we only have one more session, what are we going to do? Can we still continue? And because of the mentee, the way she was, I was not able to honor that. If she was a good mentee and maybe she had 5 challenges, we have been able to address 5 of them or 4 of them, then I would have decided, let me give my time so that even this pressing issue, I can support her to get out of it. I would have done that because I love giving and I love mentoring, and that most of the times I do this for free. But because of her behavior, I decided I'm not going to go beyond what was offered in the program. Yeah. So that is one experience which was not pleasant to me. I don't know if there's anyone else who's had a different experience with the mentee. Yes, Dr. Eda.
Thanks very much for your sharing your experience, because actually I thought there was something wrong with me, and kumbe there's nothing wrong with me. So there's many times when I go to give talks or I give public speeches, the young women come to me and say, please be my mentor, please be my mentor. Yeah, like medical students, young medical students, young psychologists. But then they just go completely quiet after that. And then when I try to follow up, the person blueticks just says, you know, I'm busy. So I don't know why they get so excited at first, and then they're not interested after that. So I also go quiet, because I'm not about to follow somebody who was enthusiastic in the beginning and went silent. So thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And that is very key, because we are saying most of us would like to be mentors, but you don't want to mentor somebody who's going to be wasting your time. So those are some of the things you want to check. If this person is not committed, if they're not driven, then stop it and take care of other people who would benefit from the value you are adding to them. You don't have to be a mentor if somebody feels like you are not adding value to them and they are not taking responsibility for that. So if there's any question, because I'm seeing time is also going very fast, if there's any question, any experience sharing, there's information that is also on WhatsApp with regards to Power Monday. Please, yes, Kevin.
Thank you, Edna. I have a question. How do you
Yes.
deal with a mentor who is too busy, who is overoccupied with other stuff?
Yeah, thank you. A very good question. How do you deal with a mentor who is too busy? It means the result won't be successful in that mentorship relationship. If you are not available for your mentee, then you have failed that test for the foundational aspects of a mentor. Therefore, it means you can request somebody else to mentor you. If it is a program you are in, there's always communication. I think the communication lines are normally open. So go back to your program coordinator, talk to the program coordinator and just say that it is not working, so that you can see if you can get a different mentor, and be open to having any other person mentor you. Not necessarily, don't be too restrictive, like maybe I am in health sector, I'd like somebody who is in health sector. Yeah, just accept whoever will be available for you, but please do change, because if the mentor is not available, then it means that is not an effective mentor. Yeah. Catherine, you'd like to say something? I hope that helps, Kevin.
Yes, so
if it's
good
not,
morning.
sorry, there's a question, just a moment, there's a question. What if it's not a program? Most of the times, you know, how do you get a mentor? You can get a mentor through a program, through a platform like this, Power Monday. You can get a mentor through your workplace. You can also directly ask somebody to be your mentor. So if this is somebody you directly ask to be your mentor, then just tell them that you realize that is not working for them. Maybe at a future time, when they have time, you can pick it up again, but you can always look for somebody else to mentor you. And there are so many people, you've just seen that over 90% of people here would want to be mentors. Yeah. Thanks. Someone was speaking already.
Edna, thank you. It was me.
Yes, Christine. Go on.
Okay, Sawa. So morning, everyone. I just want to say thank you. That's a good conversation we've had. Just giving an example of maybe on my end. Normally, I have a mentor, and it's somebody I met when I was beginning my career. So what you do, you are able to identify somebody in your field and maybe where you aspire to be. So as you set up and you grow in your career, you are speaking to them just to know changes or maybe what the expectation in the industry is. And you're also able to bounce back any ideas that you have. So just a contribution in terms of how it also helps you grow in the corporate space. Thank you, and back to you, Edna.
Thank you, Catherine. And sorry, that's Catherine, not Christine. Thank you. And I hope, Dr. Ada, this was your initial hand, and Kevin, this was your initial hand, is not a new hand. Okay, Antonia, you'll help me. I think there are some other questions which probably I'll not be able to see, so please help me track that. Yes, what you'd like me to explain more of the champion and not an expert. This is not what I do full time. This is part of what I do. So in business development, there is advisory, there is coaching, there is training, you know, capacity building, there is business assessments, there is and there's something else I'm pursuing now that is called design thinking. So there are many things that I do. This is just one of them. Mentoring is part of them. It's not like I've specialized in this, but I have a lot of interest. So I've learned a lot. I've attended trainings on mentoring, and the recent one that I did, I did a 2 days workshop that was on by Mowgli. Mowgli is a company, is an international company. They specialize. Now there's them, they are specialists in mentoring. Yeah. But I did some course, not a course, it was a workshop more or less. So that's the passion I have in mentoring, because I know that there's no one size fits all. There are people who mentoring will never work for them. Maybe they just need to buy a book and read, and they'll get a solution out of that. Some people just need to go into a classroom and it is explained, and they can take care of the B of themselves, how to develop that discipline, how to develop that confidence, you know. So mentoring may not work for them, and therefore I don't specialize only in that. It is part of what I do. I don't know if that answers the question or provides clarity.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Antonia, which questions are there which I've not been able to address?
Yeah, there is thank you so much, Edna. We are learning a lot from your expertise. And there is a question from Christine, thanking you for the session and also asking what the difference between mentoring and handholding. And even as we continue, we are being asked to put our, if you need mentorship, that's from Dr. Melvin. How many of us needs mentorship? Put a YY in the chat, kindly, so that maybe we can pick them up from there. Then I can combine that question with this one from Christine, which says, I have tried to mentor someone who was not serious. It seemed like I was teaching the basics. I felt like we were wasting a lot of time. She kept on missing the session. Even at some point, I disappeared. How do you handle that? Yeah, maybe you can combine the two difference between mentorship and hand-holding. Then this one for Christine. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonia. And thanks, Dr. Melvin. If you need to be mentored or you need mentorship, please do the YY that Dr. Melvin has mentioned, because we'd like to see how can we then grow ourselves, because some of us need mentors, some of us are offering to be mentors. Then we can be supporting one another through our Monday in that aspect. Now, hand-holding and mentoring. Hand-holding is a subset or is part of mentoring. When you are mentoring somebody, you have to hand-hold them. You are like hand-holding them. However, you are not feeding them with the solutions. You are helping them to come up with the solutions. At times, you will support them, you will help them, because maybe they don't have an idea. How do I register a company? And which markets are out here? If I want to go online, how do I do it? So at times you will be training or showing them how to do it, but the decision lies with them. So you have to handhold them, but not feed them. You are not the one providing solutions. You are helping them to come up with solutions, because when they do, then they own. If you tell them, please do this ABCD, they'll not own and they'll not do it. Yeah. So it is more or less the same thing. Mentoring and handholding therefore means the same thing, but make sure you don't feed them. The other one is who I think the second question was about a bad experience. If there's a research that was done and it was realized that in a program, in a mentorship program, if you do train mentors, you are likely to get 70%, yeah, 70%. If you prepare mentees and also train the mentors, you are likely to get 90% success out of that program. If you do not prepare mentees, you are likely to get or obtain 30%. So that tells you that mentees need to be prepared well before the journey starts. Mentors also need to be prepared well. Some mentors will tell you, I've always mentored. That does not mean they can always mentor, because you don't know if there's a result that shows that they are good mentors. You also have different objectives you are trying to achieve. So therefore it means they need to refresh or always keep learning. So if you prepare mentees well, you also train mentors, then you are highly likely to get a successful outcome. So for all those challenges that you go through, most of the times you'll find it is the mentee preparation that was missing, or the mentors training that was missing. I hope that clarifies. I think we have run out of time, so maybe we can pick up the conversation on WhatsApp. We will be sharing maybe a Google form in due course to see how many people are interested in being mentors, which areas, and who wants to be mentored, and then we can pick up this conversation and get something out of this as well. Otherwise, unless there's a burning question, if there's none, thank you very much, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you, and good day.
Thank you so much, Edna. That's a lot of knowledge, and we want to thank you for sharing your expertise with us. Kindly let's have Noel give us a vote of thanks. We are ahead of time.
Thank you so much, Edna. Like, personally, I have been waiting for the time when you are going to come and just give us a talk on Power Monday, because I know you have a wealth of knowledge, not in just mentoring, but in very many other areas that we know that we are really going to benefit from you. Thank you so much, everyone that attended Power Monday today. Like, we are so grateful that you took your time just to come here and drink of this. We do not take it for granted that you chose to be in Power Monday. You will be doing other things, but you decided you're going to come to Power Monday. Thank you, the board of Power Monday, for bringing for us the best and the best of the people. Thank you, Chairman Otieno Paul Peter. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you to our moderator for today, Antonia. Asante sana. Thank you, guys. Asanteni.
Thank you so much, Noel.